Hi everyone, how are you doing? All good? I'm Edipo, an architect, and in this video I'm going to show you the 20 most requested decoration items of this year. These are items you can use to decorate everything from your home's entryway to the master suite, including the kitchen, television room, living room, half bath, hallway and corridor. So grab a pen and paper because I studied and carefully selected these 20 most requested items for you. Those best sellers that really do decorate, okay? They're not just random objects or items, no, they're really the ones that actually decorate your space. Hey everyone, how's it going guys? I'm Edipo, introducing myself here once again. I want to bring you 20 cheap decoration items. Items that, in fact, for those of you who've been following me here on the channel for a long time, I've already used several of them in projects. Decorations I've done, projects I've carried out, or simply when I've provided some service or project for one of my clients. So I want to bring you now what really works and what works for cheap, what works when you spend little to decorate the rooms in your house. Look guys, the first item I want to show you here is a buffet sideboard. You know that little corner of your living room, that hallway, where you want to put something, some object to decorate and be functional? All right, so let's bring some life to that little corner at the entrance of your house. That nice little sideboard right there. Or maybe even in that transition from the living room to the kitchen, that side of the space right there. Add a small buffet or sideboard, a stylish furniture piece, decorate it with some decorative objects, that little coffee machine, and you'll have a functional, beautiful piece. It will decorate your house, your hallway there, and it's also very cheap for you to decorate. Second decoration item here. Now we're going to talk about bedrooms. It works for both double beds and single beds. All right? It's that upholstered modular headboard. What is that, Edipo? Like, what are you showing me? In the image I'm showing you, if you look, it has these mountains. Here, look, upholstered modular headboard for you to put there in your bedroom. Third item, guys, I can't leave out this decorative item here that, besides being functional, is also decorative, which is the organic mirror. All right? It comes in various shapes and sizes, some even with LED lights behind them, and you can place it in different spaces, different rooms on the walls of your house. All right? You can put it right at the entrance in the entry hall. You can put it in your dining room on a side wall. You can put it in an internal hallway that leads to your bedrooms. You can put it in a living room, on that wall where there's a console table, all right? For example, wasn't our first item here a buffet console table? Imagine that on the same wall where you put your buffet console table, you put an organic mirror on that wall. Picture yourself having coffee, gazing into the mirror. A small LED light behind it is even better, adding a nicer lighting effect to the space. So I can't leave out our organic mirror either. There are several sizes. Then you'll really need to see which one fits the size of your wall. All right? There are various sizes and shapes, with or without LED. This other item here too, guys, I can't leave it out. It was a top requested item with models that you guys mentioned to me in previous videos, which is the linen ottoman. Okay, I'll repeat it for you here, linen ottoman. Don't buy that colorful ottoman to put in your living room, that ottoman with green, yellow, blue, purple, you know? Don't get me that little square ottoman in that color. Don't buy me an ottoman with a sports team logo. Don't buy me an ottoman with those superhero designs. Let's leave those ottomans for our daughter's room, our son's room, for that play area, you know, for the kids, but not for our living room. For our living room, it has to be a decorative, functional, and cheap item, right? We're talking about cheap items here. All right. A decorative, functional, and cheap item that matches the rest of your decor. Will a green ottoman match your decor in your house? I don't think so. An ottoman with superheroes, right? Or from a sports team, will it match? I don't think so. Now, an ottoman in linen with a linen finish, you know, with that texture. This shirt I'm wearing right now is linen. Look, it has this texture. This wallpaper here too. Look, this is wallpaper, okay? With that textured finish on the ottoman over there, besides looking really nice, it's also very functional. For those of you with a small living room, check this out with me. If you have a small living room, if you live in an apartment and you don't have a lot of space there, Man, my sofa is small and I'd like to put some kind of stool here. This is the item, a linen ottoman, right? It'll decorate, work, and is also a cheap item for your home. Wooden slat. How can I use a slatted panel or a slat, right? Do we usually call them wooden slats to put in our house to decorate a room? I want to talk specifically here about two walls in your house. First, a wall in your half bath. A half bath doesn't include a shower, okay? It just doesn't have one. There might even be a spot there, and in the future, you could turn that bathroom into a regular bathroom, a guest bathroom in your house. But the idea of a half bath is not to have a shower, all right? Or also on the wall where your television is in your house. We're discussing two areas, the television wall and the half bath wall. Pay attention, if you take a wooden slat or a wooden panel, it doesn't necessarily have to be made of wood, okay? It can be plastic, it can be ABS, it can be plaster, it can be made of various materials. But if you choose this slatted panel and put it on that wall, you decorate, and you decorate a lot. The slatted panel is one of my favorite decorations to use in projects. If you follow me, you know that. And there's even someone who says right here on YouTube, right? I've heard and read some comments here too. Some professionals claim the slatted panel is out of style, but I disagree with them, even if they are experts. Everyone's entitled to their opinion and we respect that. But I tell you, the slatted panel, it only gets boring in your home decor if you use slats everywhere. If you put it on all the walls in the room, then it gets boring. But come on, pick a nice beautiful wall and put the slatted panel on it to see if it doesn't look good. It looks really luxurious when you decorate the wall in your television room and also on the wall in your half bath. Rack shelf above the toilet. This was a comment from one of you, a follower here, subscribe to the channel. He said, Edipo, I have little space in my bathroom. I live in an apartment. I don't have much space. My bathroom is very small and I don't have space to store everyday items that we use in the bathroom. What idea would you bring me? I set aside for you who asked me in a previous video here. Rack shelf over the toilet. You're going to place it right there, exactly above the toilet. And you'll have several shelves to store the items we use on a daily basis. Of course, we can put a small cabinet under the sink for storing cleaning supplies and paper. Now, on that shelf above the toilet, theoretically, it's a space that's kind of wasted in our bathroom. There are some designs where on that wall above the toilet, we usually put the towel rack, the towel holder, the bath towel, usually. Why? Because there's no space left to put it anywhere else. So it goes in that little corner. Or a heated towel rack can also be placed on that wall in that position. But this rack shelf over the toilet is an excellent idea for you if you have a very small bathroom and would like to have other options to put things as well. Oedipus, I have, why don't you put up shelves then? Why don't you put a shelf, a nice niche there? Yeah, like I'm afraid to drill into my wall. I don't know what's behind here. I don't know. I don't have the plumbing layout for my bathroom. So that's a good option for you. Then if you get tired of it, you can just say, I don't want it anymore. You can take it down and put it somewhere else. All right, so if you're short on space in your bathroom, here you go. A small rack over the toilet requires no drilling. Just buy, assemble, and set it up to solve bathroom space issues. Wall lamp, or more commonly known as a sconce. You can even use it in the space we just talked about, which is the bathroom or the washroom. If you want to have some lighting, especially in the washroom that's cozier and more decorative, try installing a sconce, a wall lamp. And I picked out this model for you here. It's one of the models, okay? There are several. The idea is to use a wall lamp, a sconce, okay? You can use it in the washroom, in the guest bathroom, and also next to the bed, okay? On your headboard, it's there and all. You can have one on each side independently for each person who will sleep on their side of the bed. So a wall sconce is also a type, it's a decorative object, a very inexpensive decorative object. There are models that don't even cost 40 reais, 30 reais, 50 reais. Obviously, there are models that can cost more than 500 reais, okay? I'm not going to lie to you and say that there are only cheap models. No, there are models that are very expensive. It's a cheap model that you can put in those areas of your house to decorate and have another lighting option. To talk about our next item here, which is decorative vases, I'm going to combine it with the buffet sideboard. Why? Remember that our first item here was the buffet sideboard? How can you decorate on top of this buffet sideboard? Besides having a coffee machine, a little bottle of drink, and so on, you can also put decorative vases, okay? It's an inexpensive decoration. It's a little cheap object that you can put there as a decorative piece. You can find a variety of models of these vases to suit all tastes. Put them on top of the buffet. You can also put them on the console table in your entryway hall. There's no problem at all, okay? It can also be a little vase to decorate your living room television stand, no problem. And it's a cheap item, all right? So, decorative vases are another item I'd like to bring to you here, okay? As a cheap decoration option. Sometimes you're missing that idea, sometimes you're missing that item. Man, my space looks nice, my console table is cool, but something's missing. Here, try putting these decorative vases because I'm sure it'll be another decorative option and it'll fill in the decoration of that space you have in your house. I want to talk to you now about chandeliers. Chandeliers that you can use over your dining table, which is the most common place we talk about chandeliers. But we can also use them in a bedroom, a hallway, the living room, really in several different spaces. Let's talk about each one separately here. The dining table usually has a chandelier. It could be an LED chandelier, a crystal chandelier, or depending on your decor, a more wooden, rustic chandelier. Anyway, there are several models. I picked this one out for you. Why? This one you're seeing here with me now, because it was the chandelier model that clients asked me for the most throughout this whole year here to include in the project. So that's why I'm bringing it here. It was the top choice. It has these little spheres and comes in several colors, black, gold, rose gold, and even white anyway. There are several colors and it's a type of decoration. It's a really cool decorative object. It goes really well for those of you who have a rectangular table, exactly because of its design. So why am I showing it to you? Because it was the top choice, right? Edipo, can I use a chandelier like this, maybe in a bedroom or a living room? No, I wouldn't recommend you use this type of chandelier in any other room except your dining room and specifically above your dining table. This chandelier above your dining table, this light fixture right here. For bedrooms, the television room, living room, or maybe a hallway or another space, I always recommend using that close to ceiling light fixture in my projects. For plaster ceilings, use a recessed fixture. Otherwise, use a surface mounted fixture close to the ceiling, okay? Because usually it's a space where we don't normally use hanging light fixtures. That's just my opinion. There's nothing wrong if you enjoy having a chandelier hanging from the ceiling. They were champions. Choosing them was the right win for the clients. But I'll also leave some other lighting fixture models that you might want to choose to put in your master bedroom, your son's room, or your daughter's room. All right? Maybe in the guest bathroom or kitchen. I'll also leave some models for you. Vertical garden. If you like having that contact with nature, with that fresher air, inside your house, inside your apartment, vertical garden. If you have the possibility, if you have the option to make an organic, natural, vertical garden, even better. Nothing compares to the contact with a real plant, right? I made another video here recently talking about decorative pots, a large decorative pot with an artificial plant. Many people liked the idea and said it was cool, but others criticized it saying they didn't like artificial plants. Guys, it's like this. Look, here at home, here in my office, in my house, and so on, I can't stay at home for very long. Sometimes we travel to do some work, some projects, some construction, and then we spend several days away. So I can't take care of this plant of mine, this vertical garden, if it were real. That's why I chose to have an artificial vertical garden. But the idea I want you to understand is if you like it and have the time to take care of natural plants, I agree with you. I would go with natural plants. But if you don't have that time, but you want to decorate that wall on your balcony or maybe a wall behind your television panel, let's go with a vertical garden. Okay? You have no idea how much this can benefit even your daily health. That contact with greenery, with plants, with nature. There are types of vertical gardens that are mixed with various plants, which are just beautiful, wonderful. So the idea I want to bring to you is it's also an inexpensive decoration. You can decorate your house and have this nice contact with nature. Here's another option for you to put in your living room, whether it's the television room or the sitting room. So you have another seating option, which is the armchair in your living room. Okay? If you have a small sofa and there's a nice space there between the sofa and the television stand, or between the sofa and the television wall, and suddenly there's an unused corner. What is that unused corner? It's that corner that's empty, has no purpose, has nothing, something's missing there, right? And you always have guests, you always have someone filling, I don't know, there are 2 or 3 people on your couch and there's always someone missing. The person needs to grab a chair from the table and put it there next to it. Let's put an armchair. Look here, this is an item I really like and stand by. You guys are already used to seeing it on the channel, which is a clean kitchen faucet. That simpler, more subtle faucet that doesn't draw as much attention as a gourmet faucet. Edipo, I've watched several of your videos. I know you don't like the gourmet faucet. It's not that I don't like the gourmet faucet, okay? One thing is not liking it, another thing is proposing it in the project for your client. For you, my client. That the clean faucet, the one that maybe already comes with a filter, the smoother one, the cleaner one, it will give you more decoration options in your kitchen. When you install a gourmet faucet, it already has that glamour, okay? If you're not careful, it will draw all the attention in your space. So that's why I choose this smoother, cleaner faucet model that I'm showing you here. And this model in the photo that you're seeing with me, guess the price here? Comment here for me, okay? It must be about 500 rays, 400 rays, 200 rays, 200. It's not even 200 rays, okay? This link that I set aside for you here, okay? While you might think that a faucet is really expensive, it's not, okay? This is a model that was used a lot this year, okay? In several projects that I saw that I did myself too, and that I would like to present and bring to you in this video here. But just to remind you, I'm not against gourmet faucets. I do think they fit in many project situations. But if you, as a client, hire me to recommend a faucet model, I'm going to go with the style of the faucet you're seeing here on the screen with me. And since we're talking about faucets, I just mentioned the kitchen faucet. Now I want to talk about the model that was most requested for the half bath. This one you're seeing here on the screen with me, look. This faucet for the half bath comes in several colors, but this was the most popular model. Alright, for those who follow me here on YouTube, I want to make an invitation. But the first link here is to my Instagram. It's the same Instagram, it's the same social network. Arksete On all social networks, it's Arksete. Follow me on Instagram. You know why? Sometimes I share things from the construction site in daily life that I can't show here on YouTube, but I've posted them on Instagram. Check it out there. Not now. Watch the video here with me first, then you can go. Several faucets of this model here that I brought for you for wash basins, which I have already installed in several projects that I have worked on. Alright, so this one is the top choice model. Now after this video ends, you're gonna come here. Click the link to check out this faucet's price. Wow. A golden medal sounds pricey, but it's not. Click to see for yourself. I won't reveal the price, just check it out. You go to the website there, you'll see the cheap little price I picked out for you. Look, guys, this item here is something I usually say is decorative as well. This digital lock, I say lock, digital lock. I've already had several comments here talking about this item. Edipo, what do you think about the digital lock? Would you put it in your project? Would you recommend it? Yes, I would recommend it. It's a very functional product. I have it here at home. I don't use a traditional key. We use it with the digital or with the password. It's very functional. We get rid of that problem of forgetting the key and so on and so on and so on. It puts an end to that. For our daily life, it's very practical, it's very good, and it's a product that you can use as decoration too. Why not? Remember how we choose the locks, the handle for our front door, the bedroom doors, the kitchen, the bathroom? Don't we choose the color? Whether it's black, brown, white, chrome, or stainless steel, don't we choose? Why not also choose the entry lock as an entry lock, a digital lock? Why not? Why not make this item a decorative item as well? And it's cheap. There's this model I picked out for you here. I researched several models. I saw that the average price range is between 500 and 1000 rays, okay? This lock, I researched and found one for under 500 Rs, about 400 and something. If you look at the link I left for you, that's the price there. That was the lowest price I could find to show you here as a good value for money. Table lamp, for you to put next to your bed on that little side table there, okay? Or also next to your sofa, for you who have a little table there beside your sofa. The table lamp is really nice, it's very decorative. If you ask me like this, Edipo, name an object that decorates my living room, name an object that decorates my suite. I'll tell you straight away, right off the bat, table lamp. There are several models. It's a really cool lighting option, especially for the bedroom. If you like to read, if you have the habit of reading in bed, lying down, enjoying a good book, you usually put a table lamp on that side table over there. This model that I picked out for you looks really nice, as we can see in the picture. You'll laugh at how cheap it is. The link is below and in the video description. Taking the cue from the table lamp, now I want to talk to you about the corner lamp, specifically for the living room, okay? The table lamp can also be used in the living room. I'm in favor, no problem at all. As well as in the bedroom. Now, this one here, look, the corner lamp for the living room. I would recommend you place it right in your television room, in your living room. Okay? So you can decorate, have a decorative object and another lighting object. You who really like to watch television, right? Chat there in your living room maybe and all that. That corner lamp, the spot where two sofas meet, that little overlooked corner, a little corner lamp right there, look, fits like a glove. It decorates. It's another lighting option you have, and it's a cheap item, okay? There are several models. Models that go like this, go like that. Anyway, various colors, square, round. Choose your model if you are looking for this type of decoration for your television room or living room. If you're used to having a side table next to the sofa, I'm bringing you the side table now, okay? I couldn't leave this out of our list of the 20 most chosen items, okay? What I'm telling you here, I'm going to repeat again, okay? These 20 items that I'm bringing to you here, cheap, great value for money, great decoration, a very decorative object. These are the 20 most chosen this year. These were the items that people liked the most to buy, to get, to put in their homes. Throughout the year here on the channel, I always bring decorative objects, decorative items, and these I picked out were the champions. So, this little table, besides being very cheap, is going to be a very functional option next to your sofa, okay? And also next to your bed, if you still don't have a little table next to your bed's headboard, pick a nice model there. There's a link to one of these models that I'm leaving for you here. Get its model here. Take advantage of it now. Since the table lamp is also a very cheap item, just make the set the table and the lamp, okay? You'll get great value for your money because it's very cheap. You'll have a great little corner solution to put and store the item. Also, by taking the hook from the table lamp, you're already assembling an item. A small table with a decorative item, also with lighting. So, I couldn't leave out this item here either. A side table for you to recommend to you. This one was also a top pick. Which, by the way, I'm using in a current project I'm doing for a decorative product store. Okay? Decorative effects. Which is exactly the industrial style shelf, okay? There are countless models of shelves for you to put in your home. Many. Because the industrial model kind of wired with iron, with more natural wood. It's a model that was in high demand in projects. Why did I bring it? Because it was highly requested, very much in demand. And I'm using it in a current project I'm working on. When I finish it, I'll show you the photos and some videos on Instagram. Alright? That's why I tell you, sometimes I can't show it here in the videos, but I show it over on Instagram. So this project I'm working on has these industrial style shelves. And it was a product, a decorative item that was requested a lot throughout this year. That's why I brought it. It's here on our list. I couldn't leave it out. Alright then guys, I hope you enjoyed and liked this content here. These 20 inexpensive decorative items for you to decorate your home and be successful and have a beautiful decoration, spending very little. If you're still watching and haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like the video and leave a comment. Don't forget that I'll be waiting for you in our next video. Take care.